Buckle up, everyone. We're going on a trip to the future. To 2050, to be exact. This time we're taking a deep dive into a world completely reshaped by AI.
We've got reports and research stacked high over here, all about how AI might revolutionize our world in just a few decades.
So think, smart homes that predict your every need, self-driving cars zipping around, and healthcare that can predict and prevent illnesses.
It's not just isolated changes, though. This is about a complete transformation of our relationship with technology and each other.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Imagine waking up in your smart home in 2050.
The lights adjust automatically, a personalized news update pops up, and your breakfast is already being made, all based on your diet, of course.
And this is all before you've even had your coffee.
Right. And that's just the start.
So what else? What else can we expect?
Imagine your kitchen. You've got an AI chef suggesting recipes, considering your health data and food preferences. Your fridge is ordering groceries for you before you even run out.
Okay, no more midnight grocery runs. I'm sold.
Yeah. And this integration of AI goes way beyond our homes.
Okay, so where else?
Think about transportation.
Right.
Self-driving cars are everywhere, smoothly navigating traffic while you get some work done or listen to some music.
And what about public transport?
Public transport is adapting in real time to passenger volume and weather, so no matter what, you're getting where you need to be.
Okay, so AI is streamlining our daily lives, giving us back valuable time. But this efficiency goes way beyond just our homes and commutes. We see it transforming healthcare, too.
Exactly. We're moving away from those one-size-fits-all treatments to a world of personalized healthcare.
Now, this is where it gets really exciting. Tell me more.
Doctors using AI to predict and prevent illnesses long before they even show up. They'll analyze your genes, your environment, your lifestyle.
It's almost like having a crystal ball for your health.
Yeah, exactly. Think about AI-powered prosthetics that adapt to your movement in real time, or wearables that constantly monitor your health, alerting you to the smallest changes long before any symptoms even appear.
Wow, that's amazing. So from preventing illnesses to actually assisting with surgery, it seems like AI will be our new health partner. What about those complex surgeries? How is AI going to be helping with those?
Picture this: AI-assisted robots performing complex procedures. Superhuman precision.
Okay.
Faster surgeries, quicker recoveries, and fewer complications.
Wow.
These robots can reach areas humans can't, making surgery much less invasive and more effective.
That's incredible. It's mind-blowing the level of precision AI will bring to surgery. But what about the human side of healthcare? Mental health. Will AI have a role there?
Of course it will. AI can help with accessibility to mental health care, which is so important.
Right.
Imagine AI-powered therapy sessions, available 24/7, personalized support whenever you need it, and AI tools that can help you manage stress and anxiety every day.
That's so important, especially for people who have trouble accessing traditional therapy, whether it's cost, location, whatever it is. It's amazing how AI can address such a broad range of healthcare needs. It's almost like having a constant companion for our well-being, for both our physical and mental health. But while we're focusing on human health, what about the health of our planet? How can AI help with all the environmental challenges we face?
AI can be a huge help when it comes to things like climate change and sustainability.
Okay, I'm curious. Tell me more.
Well, imagine AI-powered climate models that can predict extreme weather events with incredible accuracy.
That sounds useful.
It's huge. It means we can prepare for disasters better, make our cities more sustainable, and develop early warning systems for those who are most vulnerable.
It sounds like AI can help us prepare for the future of our climate. But what about addressing the environmental issues we're facing right now? Can AI contribute to that too?
Definitely. For example, think about agriculture. AI-powered sensors can keep an eye on the health of crops, monitor soil quality, and even track weather patterns, all to make farming more efficient and way more sustainable. AI could actually help us grow more food while using less water and fewer pesticides. Pretty amazing.
It's impressive to see AI predicting the future of our climate and making our current agricultural practices more sustainable. But what about waste? We generate so much waste globally. Can AI help us manage it better?
AI could completely change how we deal with waste. Think about systems that can sort through trash with crazy speed and accuracy.
That sounds
It means more recycling, less waste in landfills, and we could even extract valuable resources from what we used to just throw away.
Wow, it's amazing how AI can change something as ordinary as waste management into a much more sustainable system.
Yeah.
So from predicting climate change to making agriculture more efficient and even revolutionizing waste management, it seems like AI is this incredible tool for a greener future. But what about education? How is AI going to impact the way we learn?
Well, by 2050, education will be completely personalized.
I like the sound of that.
AI can assess your learning style, your strengths, and even your weaknesses, and it'll tailor lessons just for you.
So no more one-size-fits-all classrooms.
Exactly. You learn at your own pace and focus on the areas where you need the most help.
It's fascinating to think about AI catering to everyone's individual needs like that. But if AI is taking on this big role in education, what happens to the traditional classroom setting? Is it going to completely disappear?
The classroom of the future will be a really dynamic mix of physical and virtual spaces.
I see.
Think about virtual classrooms powered by AI and VR, creating these immersive learning environments.
So students from anywhere in the world can connect with the best teachers and access any resources.
Exactly. It means education is available to everyone, regardless of where they live or their background.
It's a huge leap forward for education. But as AI takes on this bigger role in our lives, we have to think about the ethical implications. So what kind of guidelines and regulations will be in place to make sure AI is being developed and used responsibly in 2050?
You're right, with AI becoming so integrated into our lives, it's crucial to have some ground rules.
Of course.
Global policies will need to focus on transparency and accountability to ensure that AI systems are always developed and used responsibly, with human well-being always the top priority.
That makes sense. So it's reassuring to know those ethical aspects of AI are being considered. But what about AI rights? Will those advanced AI systems have any kind of legal recognition by 2050?
Now that's a tough one.
Right.
It's a question that's going to be debated a lot in the years to come.
For sure.
It's likely that some AIs, the really advanced ones in roles that require serious decision-making or lots of interaction with humans, might gain some level of legal recognition.
Okay, that's interesting.
But what those rights will look like, well, that's still up in the air and likely to evolve a lot.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a complex issue to figure out.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the workforce. How will AI impact jobs and just the whole nature of work in 2050?
AI is definitely going to reshape the workforce, but it's not about AI taking our jobs.
Okay, that's really...
It's more about AI augmenting human capabilities.
So working together.
Exactly. AI taking over the routine tasks and freeing us up to focus on more creative, strategic, and empathetic roles.
I see. So what does that look like practically?
We'll see. Whole new job categories pop up. Think AI ethics management or AI training. It's about managing and guiding this technology.
So it's a future where humans and AI work side by side.
Precisely.
So how does that collaboration actually work?
AI will be there to support our decision-making, to drive innovation, and allow us to concentrate on things that require those uniquely human skills. Things like critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence.
So it's a shift toward a more fulfilling and strategic way of working.
I think so.
That brings up an interesting point. We've talked about AI impacting work, but what about our social lives? How will AI influence our relationships and just the whole social dynamic?
AI has the potential to both strengthen and complicate our social connections.
Okay, so how do you see that playing out?
Well, on one hand, AI could help us connect with people all over the world.
That's exciting.
We can break down language barriers, facilitate meaningful interactions. Imagine attending a virtual conference with real-time translation, allowing you to talk to anyone, regardless of their language.
That would be amazing. It sounds like AI could create a much more connected and globally engaged society. But are there downsides? Are there risks involved with AI being the middleman in our social interactions?
Of course there are. One risk is over-reliance on technology for social interaction.
That makes sense.
Imagine a world where people are so used to communicating through AI that they struggle to have those genuine face-to-face conversations.
It's like we're constantly connected online, but also increasingly isolated. But what about our sense of community? Can AI actually help us build stronger communities, or will it just lead to more fragmentation?
Well, AI could do both.
Okay, so how so?
Imagine platforms that connect people with shared interests, hobbies, even local initiatives, all powered by AI. This could lead to all sorts of new, vibrant online communities.
So a real sense of belonging, shared purpose, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's also the risk that AI could just end up reinforcing existing social divisions. We have to be careful.
Right, so how do we do that?
Imagine AI algorithms inadvertently creating echo chambers.
So amplifying existing biases.
Exactly, or limiting our exposure to different perspectives.
Yeah.
So it's crucial that we design these AI systems with diversity and inclusivity in mind right from the start.
That's a great point. It's a delicate balance to strike.
Definitely.
AI has the potential to be this incredible tool for building bridges and connecting communities, but we have to be mindful that it reflects the diversity of human experiences and viewpoints. But I want to move on to another really interesting aspect of AI's potential, the creative world. How do you see AI shaping the art, music, and films we consume in 2050?
Picture a concert hall, but the orchestra is AI, playing a symphony composed by, you guessed it, another AI.
Okay, wow.
Or walk into an art gallery showcasing art generated entirely by AI. It's going to blur those lines between human and machine creativity.
It's pretty mind-blowing to imagine AI having that level of creative influence. So does this mean human artists and musicians are going to be out of a job? Will AI take over the whole creative process?
Not at all. AI will actually become a really powerful tool for human artists, expanding their creative possibilities.
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
Well, imagine an AI that can analyze a vast amount of music and suggest melodies or harmonies you'd never thought of. Or an AI that creates visual concepts based on your artistic style.
So it's not about replacing human creativity, but pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. It's about opening up new avenues for artists to explore.
So it sounds like AI will be a collaborator for human artists, a source of inspiration even. But what about those of us who aren't necessarily artists or musicians? How will AI impact the way we experience entertainment and leisure?
Think of it this way. What if you had an AI travel agent that could plan the perfect vacation, all based on your interests and budget?
Ooh, I like that.
Or an AI personal trainer that creates a workout routine specifically for you, adjusting it in real time based on how you're doing.
Okay, so AI taking all the guesswork out of planning and tailoring things perfectly to our needs. But is there downside to this?
Well, the risk is that we become so reliant on AI for entertainment that we forget how to be creative ourselves.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Or spontaneous.
Right.
We might even forget how to relax without relying on technology.
So how do we strike a balance?
The key is to use AI as a starting point for discovery, not to completely depend on it. Think of AI as a tool to find new hobbies or explore different genres of music, Maybe AI suggests local events you might enjoy. It's about expanding our horizons, not limiting them.
Okay, I like that. It's using AI as a springboard for new experiences. But let's get down to something a little more practical. What about finances? How will AI be impacting how we manage our money in 2050?
Imagine having an AI financial advisor. It tracks your spending, identifies savings opportunities, and even invests your money for you, all based on your financial goals and how much risk you're willing to take.
Wow, so it's like having your own personal CFO in your pocket.
Pretty much.
But that brings up an important issue. We've seen algorithms make some biased decisions when it comes to loans, credit scores, even insurance. So how do we ensure AI is used fairly in the financial world?
It's a critical point.
Right.
The AI systems used in finance need to be designed with fairness as a top priority.
Okay, how do we actually do that?
We have to carefully choose the data used to train these algorithms, making sure we don't accidentally perpetuate existing biases.
That's a huge responsibility.
It is, and we need mechanisms to audit and explain how these AI systems are making decisions to ensure accountability and prevent discrimination.
It sounds like a robust regulatory framework will be needed to ensure responsible use of AI in finance. But even with regulations, how can individuals protect themselves from potential AI bias and really make informed financial decisions in a world driven by AI?
Education and awareness are key.
Okay.
People need to understand how AI is being used in finance, what data is informing these financial decisions, and what potential biases might be at play. This empowers people to question those AI recommendations, get a second opinion if needed, and advocate for more transparency and accountability from the financial system.
So it's not just blindly trusting AI with our money, but being educated, engaged consumers, making sure those AI-powered financial tools are working in our best interest. But I want to zoom out a little and look at the big picture. We've talked about AI in our homes, our health, our work, even our leisure time. But how do you see AI shaping society as a whole in 2050?
That's a tough question.
It is.
And I think the answer depends on the decisions we make today.
Yeah.
AI could create a world that's more efficient, more convenient, even more abundant, A world where we've tackled some of our biggest challenges like disease, poverty, climate change.
It's a hopeful vision. It sounds like AI could be a real force for positive change. But what about the potential downsides? What risks do we need to be aware of as we head into this AI-driven future?
One big risk is AI making existing inequalities even worse. If AI is primarily developed and used by a select few, it could end up concentrating wealth and power even more.
It's a sobering thought. We need to make sure that the development and use of AI benefits everyone, not just a privileged few. But what about this idea of AI becoming uncontrollable? There's a lot of fear about AI surpassing human intelligence and potentially becoming a threat to us. How realistic are those fears?
It's important to separate science fiction from reality.
Okay.
AI is advancing quickly, yes, but we are a long way from creating AI that can think like a human or make its own decisions.
So this idea of AI taking over the world is mostly unfounded.
At least for now, yes. The real risks are about misuse of AI.
Okay, what do you mean?
AI being deployed in ways that violate privacy, perpetuate biases, or even cause harm, those are the real things to worry about.
So it's not about being afraid of AI itself, but about being careful and thoughtful about how it's used, making sure it's developed and deployed ethically.
Exactly.
But let's bring this back to the individual. With all these potential changes on the horizon, how can we prepare ourselves for this AI-driven future? What skills and mindsets will we need to thrive in a world where AI is woven into every aspect of our lives?
I think the most important skill will be adaptability.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, the world of work is going to be constantly changing as AI takes over those routine tasks and new types of jobs emerge.
So we need to be ready for those changes.
Exactly. Be open to learning new skills, embracing new technologies, and adapting to new ways of working.
So it's more about a mindset of continuous learning and being flexible.
Precisely. The ability to learn quickly, solve problems creatively, and adapt to new situations, those are the skills that will be more valuable than ever before. But beyond just technical skills, it's also important to cultivate those human qualities that AI can't replicate.
What do you mean? Like what specifically?
Things like critical thinking, creativity, empathy, emotional intelligence. These are the skills that will allow us to work effectively with AI, understand its limitations, and make ethical decisions in a world where AI is playing a larger and larger role.
So it sounds like we're moving towards a future where humans and AI work together, each contributing what they do best. But how do we make sure AI remains a tool that benefits humanity, not a force that controls us or even replaces us?
That's the million-dollar question.
It really is.
The answer lies in how we develop and deploy AI.
Okay, so what does that mean?
We need to put human well-being, fairness, and transparency at the forefront of everything we do with AI.
Okay.
From collecting data and designing algorithms to the way AI is actually used and governed. We need to be deliberate.
So it's not just about the technology, but the values behind it, the ethics we build into it.
Exactly. We have to be very intentional about the future we want to create with AI and ensure it reflects our values and hopes for a better world.
Absolutely. And that requires all of us talking openly, collaborating, and making sure we're developing AI ethically.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's a big task, but it's an exciting one. We are at a turning point, and the decisions we make right now will shape the future of AI and its relationship with humanity. But I want to switch gears for a minute and talk about something a little more personal. How do you think AI will change the way we interact with each other? How will it affect communication?
AI could totally break down language barriers.
Okay, now that would be amazing.
Imagine seamless communication between cultures.
Yeah.
Think about a conference with real-time AI translation so that anyone can understand any speaker, no matter what language they speak.
It would be incredible. So much more connection, understanding. But are there any risks? Could AI-mediated communication lead to misunderstandings?
Well, even though AI translation is getting really good, it's not perfect.
Of course not.
You could still lose some meaning, especially humor and idioms, things that are culturally specific.
That makes sense. It's a tricky balance, leveraging AI for communication while also being aware of the risks, the potential for misinterpretations.
Right.
But let's move on to another interesting question. How will AI affect our sense of self, our identity in a world so deeply integrated with technology?
That's a deep one.
It is, isn't it?
As AI gets more sophisticated, as it starts doing things that we thought only humans could do, it's only natural to start asking, what does it even mean to be human?
It's almost as though AI is pushing us to confront our own humanity. So in a world where machines are getting smarter all the time, how do we define ourselves?
It's a huge question. It's
Yeah.
a philosophical question with no easy answers.
Yeah.
But maybe AI can help us understand what truly makes us human. Our creativity, our empathy, our ability to connect with each other on an emotional level.
So it's not about AI as a threat to who we are, but as a way to explore what it means to be human in this technologically advanced world. But I want to bring it back down to earth for a minute and talk about some practical implications. How will AI impact our homes and living spaces in 2050?
Imagine a home that knows what you need before you do.
Sounds relaxing.
Adjust the temperature, the lighting, even the music based on your mood. AI will be built right into our homes, making them more comfortable, responsive, and truly personalized spaces.
So our homes will be dynamic environments that actually adapt to our needs. That's pretty cool. But what about privacy? If AI is monitoring everything we do in our homes, how can we be sure that our personal data is protected?
That's a big one. As AI becomes a bigger part of our homes, we need to be really careful about data privacy.
So what can we do?
Choose devices and systems from companies that have strong privacy policies. Be conscious of the data you share and what you allow access to.
So it's about enjoying the benefits of AI in our homes, but also making sure we're protecting our privacy. But let's shift to another area where AI will have a big impact: transportation. How do you see AI changing how we get around in 2050?
Picture a world without traffic jams.
I'm already sold.
Self-driving cars everywhere, navigating cities and highways effortlessly, even communicating with each other to keep traffic flowing and prevent accidents.
That sounds like a utopia for commuters. But what happens to the people who work in transportation when we have all these self-driving cars?
It's true that some jobs in the transportation sector might be lost as self-driving cars become the norm. But don't forget, there will also be new jobs created in AI development, vehicle maintenance, infrastructure management, those kinds of areas.
So it's not about eliminating jobs entirely, but changing the types of jobs available.
Exactly.
But what about the ethical implications? What happens when a self-driving car gets into an accident? Who's at fault? And how do we program these cars to make ethical decisions, in those split-second situations?
These are big ethical questions.
They really are.
We need to have open conversations about them and come up with clear regulations for developing and using self-driving cars.
It's a good reminder that AI isn't just about the technology itself, but the societal impact, the ethical considerations.
Definitely.
But I want to talk about another area where AI could completely change things: healthcare. How do you see AI changing the way we diagnose, treat, and manage our health in the future?
Imagine a world where AI could detect diseases super early, personalize treatment plans based on your genes, and even predict potential health risks before they become a problem.
It's like a whole new level of preventative care.
Exactly. Healthcare will be more proactive, personalized, and hopefully a lot more effective.
It sounds like a future where we have a lot more control over our health. But is there a risk of AI creating a two-tier system where people who can afford the latest AI technology get better healthcare than those who can't?
That's a valid concern. We need to ensure these AI-powered healthcare technologies are available to everyone.
So accessibility and affordability are key.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that AI improves healthcare for everyone, not just a select few.
It's a good reminder that AI could make existing inequalities better or worse depending on how it's used. But let's move on to education. How will AI be shaping the way we learn and teach in 2050?
Imagine a classroom with AI tutors providing one-on-one instruction.
Personalized learning for everyone.
Exactly. Tailoring to each student's learning style and pace. AI could really transform education.
It's a fascinating idea. AI could personalize learning in a way that's never been possible before. But what about the teachers? Will they still have a role in this AI-driven classroom?
Absolutely. Teachers will still be incredibly important. They'll guide students, mentor them, teach them critical thinking skills,
Right.
and they'll still create that supportive learning environment.
So it's not about replacing teachers with AI, but giving them a new tool.
Exactly. It's using AI to help teachers focus on the most important parts of their job, inspiring and guiding students.
Makes sense. But could this AI-powered education end up widening the gap between students from different backgrounds? If these tools are mainly available to wealthier families or elite schools.
It's a valid point. We need to make sure AI-powered education is accessible to all students, regardless of their socioeconomic background.
So it's another area where AI could be a game changer for equality, but only if it's used the right way.
Exactly.
It's a good reminder that we have to be mindful of the potential consequences of using AI, even in something like education. But let's take a break from the serious topics for a minute and talk about something a little more fun. How will AI impact our entertainment and leisure time in 2050?
Imagine AI creating personalized entertainment for you.
Oh, tell me more.
It could recommend movies, music, even books based on your individual preferences.
So no more scrolling through endless options.
Right. AI could make entertainment more engaging, more immersive, and tailored specifically to you.
Okay, that sounds great. But could this lead to filter bubbles?
You're right, that's a risk.
Only being exposed to content that reinforces what we already think and believe.
Exactly. We have to be aware of that and make an effort to seek out different perspectives, challenge our own assumptions.
So it's about using AI as a starting point, a tool to discover new things, not to limit our worldview.
I agree.
It's about engaging with the world, not just passively consuming what AI feeds us.
I agree.
But let's talk about work again. How will AI be shaping the way we work and the jobs that are available in 2050?
I think AI will automate those routine tasks, giving us more time to focus on the creative, strategic, and interpersonal side of things.
So it's more fulfilling work for us humans.
It could be. AI could really change the workplace,
Okay, how so?
making us more productive, more efficient, and maybe even happier at work.
So a win-win situation for everyone.
Hopefully. But of course, there's the concern about AI taking over jobs. What happens to the people whose jobs are automated?
That's a big question.
It is. But don't forget, AI will also create new opportunities.
Okay, like what?
We'll need people to develop AI, analyze data, and think about the ethics of using AI. These are all growing fields.
So it's less about AI taking our jobs and more about a shift in the types of jobs available.
Right. We will need new skills and new ways of thinking about work, but we have to make sure this transition is fair for everyone.
That's a good point. Could this lead to a divide, with some people thriving in the AI-powered workplace while others get left behind?
It's a possibility. And that's why we need to invest in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they need to succeed in this changing world.
It's a reminder that AI can change things for the better, but we have to be prepared for the challenges it brings as well.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about developing the technology, but about preparing people for the future of work.
I think so.
That's a really important point to consider as we move further into this AI-driven world.
It's like we're always connected, but further apart somehow. But what about AI and our sense of community? Can AI help us build stronger communities? Or is it more likely to just lead to more division?
It's a good question. I can see it going either way.
Right. Imagine AI-powered platforms that connect people who have shared interests,
I can see that, yeah.
hobbies, or people who want to get involved in local initiatives, all these things.
So creating these vibrant new online communities, all organized around shared passions.
Exactly. People coming together, feeling a sense of belonging. But on the flip side, there's that risk that AI could just make those divisions in society even worse.
So how do we make sure that doesn't happen?
We have to be really thoughtful about how we design these AI systems, make sure they don't accidentally reinforce existing biases.
Right. So not just creating echo chambers where people only hear what they already agree with.
Exactly. It's about making sure people are exposed to different viewpoints, that AI helps us broaden our perspectives, not narrow them.
It's a real balancing act, isn't it?
It is. AI has this incredible potential to bring people together, but we have to be careful about how it's used.
For sure. But I want to shift gears for a moment and talk about something a bit more lighthearted. AI and creativity. How do you think AI will be impacting the art, the music, the films we enjoy in 2050?
Imagine an AI composing a symphony,
Wow, okay.
a whole orchestra of AI playing this complex, beautiful music.
That's wild.
Or an art gallery filled with AI-generated masterpieces that just push the boundaries of what we think art can be.
It really makes you question what creativity even means.
It does. Are we going to see AI start directing films, writing novels? Who knows? The lines between human and machine creativity are definitely going to get blurred.
So does that mean human artists and musicians will become obsolete? Will AI take over the whole creative process?
Not at all. In fact, AI could become this incredible tool for human artists, helping them explore new possibilities, push their creativity even further.
I'm curious, how do you see that working?
Imagine an AI that could analyze thousands of pieces of music and suggest melodies or harmonies that a human composer might never think of. Or an AI that could generate visual concepts based on an artist's style.
So it's not replacing human creativity, but enhancing it, opening up new doors for artistic expression.
Exactly. AI could become this amazing collaborator for artists, sparking new ideas and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I like that. So AI is a muse almost. But what about those of us who aren't necessarily artists or musicians? How will AI change how we experience leisure and entertainment?
What if you had an AI that could plan your perfect vacation?
Sign me up.
It could consider your interests, your budget, the kind of experience you're looking for, and create this incredible itinerary just for you.
I could definitely get used to that. What else?
Or imagine an AI personal trainer that designs your workout routine, adjusts it based on your progress, even gives you real-time feedback.
So it's about AI taking all the guesswork out of things, making our leisure time more efficient, more personalized. But are there any risks to this? I mean, could we become so dependent on AI for entertainment that we forget how to be creative ourselves?
It's a good point. It's definitely something to be mindful of. We don't want to become so reliant on AI that we lose our own spark,
That's true.
or our ability to just relax and enjoy things without technology being involved.
So how do we find that balance? How do we leverage the power of AI for entertainment without becoming totally dependent on it?
I think the key is to use AI as a jumping off point, a way to discover new things, not to dictate our experiences.
Okay.
Think about using AI to find new hobbies, explore different kinds of music or art, maybe even get recommendations for local events. It's about expanding our horizons, not narrowing them.
I like that, using AI as a tool for exploration. But let's switch gears and talk about something a bit more practical. Money. How do you see AI impacting the way we manage our finances in 2050?
Imagine having an AI financial advisor in your pocket.
I'm listening.
It tracks all your spending, finds ways for you to save money, and even invest your money for you based on your goals and risk tolerance.
It's like having a personal CFO, like you said earlier.
Exactly. AI could really help us make smarter financial decisions and reach our financial goals.
But what about the potential for bias? We've seen algorithms making biased decisions when it comes to things like loans and credit scores. How do we make sure AI is being used fairly in the financial world?
You're right, that's a huge concern. AI systems used in finance need to be built with fairness in mind. We can't just assume they'll be unbiased.
So how do we make that happen? How do we build fairness into these systems?
We need to be really careful about the data we use to train these algorithms. If the data is biased, the AI will be biased too.
Makes sense.
And we need ways to audit these systems and understand how they're making decisions. Transparency is key to making sure AI is used responsibly and ethically, especially when it comes to something as important as our finances.
So it's not just about blindly trusting AI to manage our money. It's about understanding how it works, being aware of the potential biases, and advocating for more transparency in the system. But I want to zoom out for a moment and talk about the bigger picture. We've covered a lot of ground here. AI in our homes, our health, work, even our leisure time. But how do you see AI shaping society as a whole by 2050?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I think the answer depends a lot on the choices we make right now.
That makes sense.
AI has the potential to create a world that's more efficient, more convenient, maybe even a world with less poverty and disease, where we've figured out how to address climate change.
It's a pretty optimistic vision of the future.
It is, but we can't ignore the potential downsides. We have to be realistic about the risks involved and figure out how to mitigate them.
So what are some of those risks we need to be thinking about?
One of the biggest ones is AI, making those existing inequalities even worse. If the development and benefits of AI are concentrated in the hands of a select few, it could lead to even greater disparities in wealth and power.
That's a sobering thought.
It is. We have to be very intentional about making sure AI benefits everyone, not just a small segment of society.
That's a crucial point. But what about this idea of AI becoming uncontrollable? This fear that AI will become super intelligent and pose a threat to humanity. How realistic are those fears?
I think it's important to separate science fiction from reality.
Okay, good point.
AI is advancing, yes, but we are still a long way off from creating AI that can truly think for itself or have any kind of consciousness or self-preservation instinct like we see in the movies.
So you're saying that this fear of a robot uprising is pretty far-fetched?
At least for the foreseeable future, yes.
Yeah.
I think the more realistic dangers are about how AI is used by humans, the potential for misuse, for AI to be used in ways that violate privacy, reinforce biases, or even cause harm. That's what we need to be focusing on.
So it's not about being afraid of AI itself, but about being aware of the potential consequences, making sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It all comes down to how we choose to use it.
That's a great point. But let's bring it back to the individual level. With all these changes potentially on the horizon, how can people prepare themselves for this AI-driven future? What skills and mindsets will we need to thrive in a world where AI is everywhere?
Adaptability is going to be key.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
The world of work is going to be constantly changing. Jobs will be evolving. New jobs will be created. Old jobs will disappear.
So being able to roll with those changes.
Exactly. Be willing to learn new skills, try new things, embrace new technology.
So it's more about a way of thinking than any specific skill set.
It is. It's about being a lifelong learner, being curious, being open to new experiences.
So being comfortable with change, being flexible.
Precisely. The ability to learn quickly, solve problems creatively, and adapt to new situations, those are the skills that are going to be really valuable in the future. But it's not just about those practical skills. It's also about nurturing those uniquely human qualities that AI just can't replicate.
Give me some examples. What do you mean by those human qualities?
Things like critical thinking, creativity, empathy, emotional intelligence, those are the things that will set us apart.
And allow us to work alongside AI effectively.
Exactly. We need to be able to understand the limitations of AI, make those ethical decisions in a world where AI is playing a bigger and bigger role.
So it's a partnership, really. Humans and AI working together, each bringing their own strengths to the table. But how do we make sure that AI remains a tool that works for us, not the other way around? How do we make sure it doesn't end up controlling us or replacing us entirely?
That's a good question, and it's one that we need to be constantly asking ourselves. I think the answer lies in how we choose to develop and use AI.
So it's about being intentional and making conscious choices.
Exactly. We need to prioritize human well-being, fairness, and transparency in every step of the process, from the initial design to how it's actually used.
So it's not just about the technology, but the values we embed in it.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, thinking ahead, and making sure AI is used for good to create a better world for everyone.
That's a powerful message. It sounds like we have a lot of work to do, but also an incredible opportunity to shape the future of AI and its impact on humanity.
I think so. It's a really exciting time to be alive, but it also comes with a huge responsibility to get this right.
I agree, but let's lighten things up again. With AI integrated into so many aspects of our lives, how do you think it will change the way we communicate with each other?
Imagine a world where language is no longer a barrier.
That would be incredible.
Think about AI-powered translation tools that allow you to understand anyone, no matter what language they speak.
So we could have conversations with anyone in the world.
Exactly. Real-time translation that breaks down those communication barriers and allows for deeper connection and understanding.
That's a beautiful vision. But are there any downsides to this? Could AI-mediated communication lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations?
It's definitely something to be aware of. AI translation is getting much better, but it's not perfect. There's always a risk of losing something in translation, those subtle nuances of language and culture.
It's a good reminder that technology can be a powerful tool, but it's not a perfect solution. We still need to be mindful of the limitations and potential pitfalls.
I agree.
But I want to shift gears again and talk about something a bit more philosophical. How do you think AI will impact our sense of self, our identity, in a world where technology is so deeply intertwined with our lives?
That's a big one. As AI gets more advanced and starts doing things we thought were uniquely human, it's only natural to start questioning what it means to be human.
It's almost like AI is forcing us to look in the mirror and ask, who are we?
Right. How do we define ourselves when machines are becoming so capable, so intelligent? It's a big philosophical question.
It is, and one without easy answers.
Definitely. But maybe, just maybe, grappling with this question will help us appreciate those qualities that make us uniquely human. Our creativity, our empathy, our ability to connect with each other on an emotional level.
So AI as a catalyst for self-discovery almost.
I think so. AI is a mirror reflecting back at us, forcing us to confront these fundamental questions about who we are and what makes us human.
That's a powerful idea. But let's bring it back to the practical for a minute.
Yeah.
How do you see AI impacting our homes and living spaces in 2050?
Imagine a home that anticipates your every need, Adjusts the temperature, the lighting, even the music to match your mood. AI will be woven right into the fabric of our homes.
So our homes will become these dynamic, responsive environments.
Exactly. Our homes will be more comfortable, more personalized, and maybe even more energy efficient.
So AI helping us create a more sustainable lifestyle.
It could, but of course there are privacy concerns to consider. If AI is monitoring everything we do in our homes, how do we make sure our data is protected?
That's a valid concern. So how do we strike that balance? How do we enjoy the benefits of AI in our homes without sacrificing our privacy?
We need to choose AI systems from companies with strong privacy policies and be mindful of the data we're sharing.
So being informed consumers, advocating for our own privacy?
Exactly. We need to be proactive about protecting our data. But let's shift gears again and talk about transportation. How will AI be shaping the way we get around in 2050? Imagine a world without traffic jams.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Self-driving cars everywhere, smoothly navigating the roads, communicating with each other to optimize traffic flow and prevent accidents.
It sounds like a commuter's dream. But what about the people who work in transportation? What happens to their jobs when self-driving cars take over?
It's true that some jobs in the transportation sector will likely be lost. But remember, AI will also create new opportunities.
Okay, like what?
Think about jobs in AI development, vehicle maintenance, infrastructure management, things like that. The landscape of the transportation industry is going to change.
So it's not about eliminating jobs altogether, but about a shift in the types of jobs available. We'll need new skills, new training programs.
Exactly. But it's also about making sure this transition is fair, that people aren't left behind as the industry changes.
That's a good point. We need to make sure everyone has the opportunity to adapt and thrive in this new world. But let's talk about the ethics of self-driving cars. What happens when there's an accident? Who's responsible? And how do we program these cars to make ethical decisions in those split-second life or death situations?
Those are some really tough questions, and there aren't any easy answers.
I can imagine.
We need to have open, honest conversations about these ethical dilemmas and figure out how to create clear regulations that ensure self-driving cars are used safely and responsibly.
It's a reminder that AI is not just about the technology, it's about the societal impact. We have a lot to figure out, ethically and legally, as this technology becomes more integrated into our lives. But I want to talk about another area where AI has the potential to make a huge difference: healthcare. How do you see AI changing how we manage our health in 2050?
Imagine a world where AI can detect diseases in their earliest stages, create personalized treatments based on your unique genetic makeup, and even predict potential health risks before they become a problem.
So healthcare that's proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. It's about moving from a one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare that's truly personalized and preventative.
That's a powerful idea, AI helping us live longer, healthier lives. But is there a risk of creating a two-tiered system where people who can afford the latest AI technology get better healthcare than those who can't?
You're right, that's a very real concern. We have to make sure that AI is used to make healthcare more accessible and affordable for everyone.
So it's not just about developing the technology, it's about making sure it benefits everyone equally.
Exactly. We can't let AI exacerbate existing health disparities. It needs to be a force for good, for greater health equity.
That's a crucial point. We need to be mindful of those potential unintended consequences. But let's move on to education. How do you think AI will be changing the way we learn and teach in 2050?
Imagine a classroom where AI tutors provide personalized instruction, tailoring lessons to each student's learning style and pace.
So everyone gets the support they need to succeed.
That's the idea. AI could really personalize education in a way that's never been possible before.
It's exciting to think about how AI could unlock each student's potential. But what about the teachers? Will they still have a role to play in this AI-powered classroom?
Absolutely. Teachers will still be essential. They'll guide students, mentor them, teach them critical thinking, and foster that positive learning environment. It's not about replacing teachers, but about giving them new tools.
So AI as a partner for teachers, helping them do what they do best.
Exactly. AI can handle some of the more repetitive tasks, freeing up teachers to focus on those uniquely human aspects of teaching, like inspiring and motivating their students.
I like that. But could this personalized AI-powered education end up widening the gap between students from different backgrounds? What if these AI tools are only available to students in wealthier schools or families who can afford them?
It's a valid concern, and it's one we need to be very aware of. We have to make sure these AI tools are accessible to all students, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status.
So AI in education has the potential to level the playing field, but it also has the potential to make those existing inequalities even worse.
It all depends on how we choose to use it.
It's a good reminder that technology is only as good as the intentions behind it. We have to be mindful of the potential consequences and make sure AI is used to create a more equitable and just education system. But let's take a break from the serious stuff and talk about something a little more fun. How will AI be changing the way we entertain ourselves in 2050?
Imagine AI creating personalized entertainment experiences for you.
Okay, that's intriguing.
It could recommend movies, music, books based on your specific tastes. No more endlessly scrolling through options, trying to find something you'll enjoy.
Sounds like a time saver. But isn't there a risk of getting stuck in a filter bubble? Only being exposed to things that AI thinks you like, even if it means limiting your exposure to new ideas and different perspectives.
You're absolutely right. We have to be careful about that. It's important to be aware of those potential filter bubbles and make an effort to seek out diverse viewpoints.
So it's about using AI as a starting point for discovery, not letting it limit what we see and experience.
Exactly. It's about being an active participant in our own entertainment choices, not just passively consuming what the algorithm feeds us.
I like that. But let's talk about work again. How will AI be changing the way we work and the jobs that are available in 2050?
I think we'll see a lot more automation of routine tasks, freeing up human workers to focus on things that require creativity, strategy, and those uniquely human skills.
So making work more meaningful.
Exactly. It could be a real win-win. More efficiency for businesses and more fulfilling work for employees.
Sounds great. But what about the people whose jobs are automated?
That's a valid concern. We can't ignore the potential for job displacement, but remember, AI will also create new opportunities, new types of jobs we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not necessarily about AI taking our jobs, but about a shift in the types of jobs available.
Exactly. It's about adapting and being prepared for those shifts.
So what does that look like? What do we need to be doing to prepare for this new world of work?
We need to be investing in education and training programs that equip people with the skills they'll need in this AI-powered future.
So it's about being proactive, helping people make this transition smoothly.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to succeed in this changing world of work.
But could this lead to a two-tiered workforce? Those who have the skills to work alongside AI thriving, while those who don't get left behind.
That's a real risk, and it's something we need to be very mindful of as we develop and deploy these AI systems.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but about the social and economic implications.
Exactly. We need to think about the bigger picture, about how AI impacts society as a whole, and make sure we're creating a future that works for everyone.
That's an important point to remember. AI is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely and ensure that it benefits all of humanity. It's a lot to think about, all these changes that AI could bring. It makes you wonder how the very structure of society might shift with such a dramatically different workforce. But let's bring it back to the personal level for a moment. How do you see AI being integrated into our everyday lives, beyond just the workplace?
Well, we've touched on personalized entertainment a bit, but think about an AI that could suggest a book you might enjoy, or a new band even,
Okay, yeah.
based on your mood, or maybe helps you discover a hobby you never even knew you'd like.
Oh, it's about AI knowing our tastes better than we know them ourselves. Sounds a little scary, but also intriguing.
It is a little bit of both, I think,
Yeah.
but we have to be careful. We've talked about filter bubbles before, right?
Right. Only being exposed to information that reinforces our existing beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's important to use AI as a tool for exploration and discovery, not to box ourselves in. We have to make sure we're still challenging our own assumptions and seeking out different perspectives.
So being an active participant, not just a passive consumer. I like that. But speaking of being active, how do you think AI will impact the way we stay physically fit in 2050?
What if you had an AI personal trainer that creates a custom workout plan just for you?
Okay, so like a super personalized fitness plan.
Yeah. Considers your fitness level, your goals, even things like your genetic predispositions.
That's pretty high tech.
And it can adjust the plan as you go, track your progress, give you feedback. It can make fitness a lot more efficient and fun too.
So it's like having a fitness expert with you 24/7. But what about people who prefer team sports or working out in groups? Will AI have a role there too?
Of course. AI could analyze your performance on the field, tell you what you're doing well, where you need to improve.
I see.
It could even suggest strategies to help your team win.
So like a coach.
Kind of, yeah. And AI could create virtual training environments, so athletes could practice and improve their skills anytime, anywhere, regardless of the weather.
So whether you're a solo athlete or part of a team, AI will be there to level up your training. But I want to shift gears now and talk about something that affects all of us: aging. How do you think AI will impact the way we care for our aging population in 2050?
AI has the potential to revolutionize elder care. Imagine AI-powered companions that provide social interaction and help seniors stay connected.
Okay, that's interesting.
They could also monitor health conditions, alert caregivers if there's a problem.
So they could help seniors maintain their independence longer.
Exactly. And they could even assist with everyday tasks, things that become more difficult as we age.
It's a heartwarming vision, really, AI helping our elderly population age with dignity and grace. But is there a risk of relying on AI too much? Could we lose that human touch, that emotional connection that's so important in elder care?
That's a really important point. We have to remember that AI should be a tool to support human caregivers, not replace them entirely.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. We can't let technology dehumanize caregiving. It's about using AI to enhance the care that humans provide.
That's a great point. So AI can help us care for our aging population in new and innovative ways, but we have to be careful not to lose sight of that human connection. But I want to zoom out now and look at the bigger picture. We've talked about AI's potential impact on so many different aspects of our lives, but what does it all mean? What's the overall takeaway from this deep dive into the future?
I think the main takeaway is that we're on the cusp of a truly transformative era.
A whole new world, almost.
It is. Human ingenuity and technological advancement are coming together in ways we've never seen before.
It's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
Definitely. But I think if we approach it with both a sense of wonder and a healthy dose of caution, AI has the potential to create a future that's better for everyone. A future that's more efficient, more personalized, and hopefully more equitable and sustainable.
So this deep dive into 2050 has given us a glimpse of what might be possible. A world where AI is not just a technology, but a driving force behind major societal shifts, changing how we work, how we live, how we learn, even how we age. It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it's important to remember that the future isn't set in stone.
Right. We're not just passengers on this ride.
Exactly. The future is being shaped right now by the decisions we're making, the conversations we're having. The choices we make today will determine what this AI-driven world will look like.
And that's a powerful message. This deep dive into the potential of AI in 2050 has shown us just how much is possible, both the amazing possibilities and the potential risks. But ultimately, it's up to us to decide what kind of future we want to create with this technology.
I agree. It's a responsibility we all share.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the question for all of you listening is this: what role will you play in shaping this AI-driven future? Thanks for joining us on this journey into 2050.